With the ongoing economic crisis that everyone is experiencing, it wouldn't be surprising to see people looking for ways to make some extra money on the side. Many people find doing social media activities to be fun. Some people wonder if paid social media jobs are successful. It's amusing to consider making money from one of the most common online pastimes. It's an intriguing offer to get paid for doing something enjoyable. The big question here is whether or not working in social media is right for you. The subject of pay is another topic that will come up at some stage. If social media work is compensated, the next issue is whether it is sufficiently compensated. The claim. The arguments that the organization produces are at the center of the debate about whether paid social media jobs is a fraud or not. We've all heard the phrase, "If it sounds too good to be true," which means that if anything sounds too good, it probably is. You can already imagine the number of people who would call the service a scam if the company fails to set the proper standards for customers. So, what exactly are the assertions? Of course, the first point is that you will be paid for doing the same things you do on Facebook and Twitter. If you do a little research, you'll discover that people are paying to do the things you do on these social networking platforms. That's the most straightforward aspect of the site's arguments. The arguments that follow are a little unbelievable. Can you imagine being paid $1,000 per week to tweet, post status updates, and comment on videos, for example? If that is realistic, then that portion of the argument may be valid, but with the caveat that it requires some effort. What if you could get a job in a social media company or gig in 3 days? That could happen, or it could not. With the current economic crisis and high unemployment rates, the promise seems a little too good to be true. What do you really get? Paid social media jobs, like many other service providers, will let you try out their services for a small fee. To begin with, you can get anything for less than $10. For that amount, you get a taste of the training and information they provide. You can then choose to go on your own or stay with them for the remainder of their operation. Be aware. You can request a refund if you are dissatisfied with the service. And the same holds true if you make the one-time payment to continue using their service. What do they do for the most part? In a nutshell, paid social media jobs' main service is providing you with knowledge from their database of available jobs on the market. According to paid social media jobs ratings, the company fails to recruit you in 3 days. However, the first 3 days are essentially training. Consumers are only granted access to the work database after the 3 training days have passed. Unfortunately, consumers will be forced to pay a one-time fee in order to gain access to the much-desired work database. You can either put your training to good use and get hired as a social media worker, or you can use the database to find businesses that are looking for employees. In the end, the decision to choose one choice or the other is entirely up to you. What kinds of jobs are there? The next question is, what jobs will people be able to find? Are the pay scales competitive enough to tempt you to work it as a part-time position in addition to your daily job? So, here are some of the company's broad statements. There are positions that pay $2 to $25 an hour and require social media staff to post Facebook comments. There are also jobs that enable you to comment on specific YouTube videos, mostly product samples and reviews, for which you will be paid anywhere between $2 and $20 per hour. If you enjoy tweeting, consider creating promotional tweets and earning up to $200 a day. However, there is a small caveat that you should be aware of. Many of the positions you'll come across don't pay very well. There are a number of $2 an hour positions available. A lot of the decent paying jobs, like those that pay $20-ish to $200 per day, will have a few additional skill requirements, which means you'll have to focus more on preparation. Some of them would go out of their way to find people who have some experience in the area. Is it possible to make money on social media? This is the question that everyone should be asking. There are a few things to think about that have been discussed here. You're better off paying the entrance fee if all you need is access to training, work-related documents, and training materials. Take advantage of the first 3 days to gather as much information as possible. The next question is whether or not consumers will find work in social media on their own. Keep in mind that referrals are still the most common source of job information. Referrals are a better way for people to learn about work opportunities than looking for them in a job database. You will have to pay to access the work database if you can't get references from friends or other people who have pursued social media jobs. Last but not least, there's the issue of wages. Many people believe that social media positions do not pay well enough to entice them to abandon their regular jobs. You can't hope to reach that amount overnight, of course. Nonetheless, several people have succeeded in doing so. But don't quit your day job just yet. As a second job or something to do on the side, social media work might be ideal. Paid social media jobs provides programs to prepare you for a career in social media. Interested in making money with social media? Use the link in the description and get started today.